This episode is on fire because it sounds like those horns have a siren going off behind them. That someone's baking chicken at 4:25. Got about it. Please.
Yes, that's a little hot.
Yeah, a little bit. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Total Mac, aka TBD Mac, aka Next Gen Mac, in the building for another episode of No Pyro Podcast. Joining me as always, Swervely, aka SVS Swerve, aka Swervy Atmos, FKA Yoko Tuna, aka Swollen Pal, aka I got one for you today, man. AKA Young 60 frames per second. You know what I mean?
That's not me. That's you.
No, that's you.
I'm still 30 over here.
No. Listen, so you put me on a Gemini Man, so I watched.
Oh, yo, you talking about the movie? Yeah.
Man, woo.
It's love, ain't it?
It was very. I went immediately in search for all the films that were in 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
And I didn't find much.
It's like you would think that it would, once you get accustomed to it, you don't really want to look at nothing else.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird.
I put in. I always wanted to watch the Elton John movie because I like music, and I watched Rocket Man. Worst movie I ever seen in my life. Top 5. It was terrible.
Wow.
It was a musical, so it was like, oh, Elton, you're hooked on crack cocaine and you're hooked on pills and you're drinking a lot. Let's sing a song about it. I'm like, I don't want to hear that shit. Give me dialogue. I hated it. So
that sounds shitty as fuck. I thought it was like an actual like biopic.
No.
They start calling you Musical Mac.
Nah, man. Listen. It was like Cats meets E True Hollywood Story. It wasn't good.
Wow.
Also joining the building with me, last but not least, No Chill Drew, aka EGB. Quick reminder, that means everybody getting buried, aka the Applebee's Don, aka Dollarita Drew, aka damn, you get a kickback. I'm gonna go Arizona.
Quality.
I'm gonna go Arizona on this one. I'm gonna go Golden Bear.
It's the strawberry one.
Oh, was it the black hand?
No, the pink one.
The pink one. Shit, I was gonna say the black one. Damn.
Listen, I'm surprised you got the Arizona part right.
He always says Arizona.
I know. He just go. He's never gonna change that.
Listen, man, when you taking a test, always gotta see. What's good with you, Drew?
Not much, man. Just making it through the week. Survived the holiday weekend.
Yeah. Any interesting Black Friday purchases, or did you just?
You know what?
Hang out.
A lot of the stores weren't doing many sales. I was looking to TV Market. I think I'm probably just gonna pick up one during like these holiday sales. There was nothing that struck my eye as far as Black Friday goes. Not a lot of people shopping, but then again, I stay away from the malls.
Yeah, I had an order at Best Buy. I had to go pick up, and I did. I was gonna do curbside, so I pull up on Black Friday to do curbside because normally it's empty. So there's like 26 there's like 30 something spots for drive up. Well, no, I'm sorry, they're like 60 because there's like 30 on each side. So I get there Friday and there's literally like 58 spots filled. And I'm like, yo, you have to be kidding me. There's only 2 people outside and you know already they're not moving fast. So I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go in the store. So I went in the store, no line whatsoever on the pickup. So I said, okay, I'm going to go in the store and get this. And I said, I can't wait for the looks on the people in the car when they see me coming out like, hey, that guy got here literally 2 minutes ago, and he was here for literally 3 minutes, and now he's leaving. That's always a success. So that was my story. I did buy some movies though too.
That's the same look I give when my mom go in the corner store and I see, 50 people walk out. I'm like, oh my gosh, she ain't never coming out there.
I'm straight. I'm doing that life, man. Yeah, so that was successful. Besides that, nothing much. I didn't get any more games. Cyberpunk is around the corner.
Hopefully.
Up on that. But we'll see.
Earlier this, I think a few episodes ago, I was asked about Cyberpunk, and I was like, I'm not really into it. And I'm not saying that I'm necessarily changing a little bit. Not that I'm gonna purchase it or anything, but if it was to come to Game Pass or maybe go to $30, I might mess around with it. I don't know. It's the thing that's throwing me off is neither next gen version is gonna be ready when the game does come out, but it'll be interesting to see how it looks.
So wait a minute.
You want to know how much this game has gotten pushed back? Its porn parody has come out before the actual game.
Time out. So it's like going to be enhanced.
I'm hearing that the next gen versions of this game is not going to be released on December 10th when this game's supposed to come out. So yeah, it'll be playable on Xbox Series X and PS5, but you'll be playing, the same version I got.
That makes sense though, because it's only 59, so I'll be waiting. All right, I'll see what Madden has to offer. They'll let me down again because their next gen is coming on Friday, so we'll see. I'll set aside a day for that because I love Madden, even though they've stabbed me in the back several times.
I was playing the 20 on the EA Play through Game Pass. And I'm playing Fight Night.
Listen. When Swervy is playing Madden, you know it's desperate times, man. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special jam-packed episode today. We're going to get right into it. Switching things up this week. Make sure you continue to hit us up on the tube of views. That is YouTube. Search No Pyro Podcast. We appreciate the continued and the new listens that we get each week. Also hit us up SoundCloud, and we are also on Apple Podcasts. So if you're driving or if you're like me, you're working the hell shift and you've got all the time in the world to listen to anything you want, give us about 2.5 hours of your time. Promise you will not regret it. Also, yes. To Forefront, subscribe. I bet you Swerve was about to tell you that.
Yes, I was. We need subs to go with those chips, okay?
What kind of chips, No Chill?
What's that last part?
What kind of chips? Ruffles?
If I'm getting chips, it's going to be the barbecue Lays.
I won't be eating at your house.
I thought you don't care for Lays?
I thought he was going to say a bag of Utz.
Hey, don't you dare sleep on Utz. Those barbecue chips are to die for.
I never bought the barbecue kind, but I did have the sour cream.
Nah, man, they never got that bad in the back household, man.
Those and Troyer Farms are the shits. Okay, those are great.
Are really good. I will give you that.
I can't hate on Troyer.
Troyer, they're established. All right, they're not new to this. They true to this.
They like the Vizio chips, but they've been around for a minute.
A little bad bag here and there, but they never really let you down.
Yeah. Every now and then, though, they just cook the bad potato anyway.
Exactly. Like
throw it in a bag.
That's Troyer. We are going to switch things up today. We are going to start with the company out of Greenwich, and that is the WWE. Before we get into the WWE, I just want to say we don't spend a lot of time. Correction, we don't spend any time on NXT. shout out to the storytelling and the writing and everything they're doing with Pat McAfee and the Bullet Club. And
whoa. Let's just
well,
get that right. That's Undisputed Era, not Bullet Club.
what is it?
That's Undisputed Era, pal. That's not Bullet Club.
Is it what's his face, Finn Balor? Well, that's why I said it.
Oh man,
No.
you do this every week with somebody.
Dude, Bullet Club is in New Japan, dude. They have nothing to do with WWE.
Well, Finn Balor was a part of it, so I'll give me that.
He's been kicked out of it, so he hasn't been associated with the Bullet Club for years, for 5 years.
Once a member, always a member, man. That's what they said.
He's not a Crip. I mean, it's
anyway. The Undisputed Era with Adam Cole and Pete Dunne. That storytelling has been amazing. Pat McAfee is there. Finn Balor is there. There's a lot of guys who could be on the main card making magic happen on Wednesdays over there on NXT. So they've got War Games on Saturday. I won't watch live, but I will go back and watch it because they put on, I don't know, the top 2 or 3 best shows. I don't care if you're talking New Japan, WWE, AEW each year. And the matches are really, really good. 5-star matches. So shout out to what they're doing.
okay, Dave Meltzer.
Hey, listen, I just got to give credit to where it's due, Drew. You know?
And that was our NXT coverage. Tune in 4 months from now for the next update.
Yeah, before Mania. Royal Rumble's around the corner. Do you, Drew, have any insight or swerve any guess to who, I don't know, maybe could get called up from NXT to compete in the Rumble? That will stay.
I don't know who's down there.
Honestly, I can't see anyone getting called up to compete in the Rumble. Maybe Adam Cole, but realistically, I don't think that they're doing any call-ups, really. I think they're happy with the roster that they got.
Based off what you said last time, you don't want them up here.
That's true as well.
All right. Well, on the Monday Night Raw opened up with a moment of bliss. I didn't watch, by the way, but I heard it was pretty good. It was basically signaling that Alexa Bliss is Bray Wyatt or the Fiend's weakness. Here we are again, though, Orton and Wyatt. Already tired of it. You throw Bliss into here, a new layer. I don't really care too much for it, but we'll see what happens, I guess. Drew, any thoughts?
This brings back a lot of not so fond memories of the last time these two were in an angle, and he burnt down the shed that Sister Abigail was in. It just feels like a rehash of that storyline, where he's like, found a new weakness.
Well, the good thing is if he burns.
What's that?
Go ahead.
So, I mean, if that's where they're going with that, I'm not too fond of it.
The good thing is if he burns down the Firefly House, Bray has already been through that, so he should be able to just build a new one.
Well, no, the weakness is Alexa Bliss.
Oh. What's my weakness? Bliss. Okay, then.
All right. Moving on. Let's talk about Elias versus damn, I don't even know what I want to call this dude. Danger, mistake waiting to happen, liability, aka
Jack?
No, this is Jeff Hardy, who is 40 plus his senior and still doesn't know when to stop doing death-defying acts that could potentially end his life, not even just his career. There was a spot where he would be in a match with Elias, and they dubbed it the Symphony of Destruction, where he did a mistimed or misspotted swanton bomb, and the man almost broke his damn neck.
Yeah, he swanton off the top rope to the outside and banged the back of his head pretty nasty on the steps.
Jeff, you don't have to continue to do this, bro. We know who you are. Please. We get it. You've been doing this since I was a youngin'. If the kids want to see you do it, tell them to go back to YouTube.
Weren't they like Undertaker Druids or something?
Huh?
Didn't they start off as like Undertaker Druids?
The Hardys?
Yeah.
I think so.
No, they started out as the guys who held open the doors of the King of the Ring.
Oh, okay. It was one of those things.
Jeff, man, you're better than this, bro.
They held the door open for King Mabel?
Yeah.
Moving on. Ricochet taking on Slapjack. I won't break this down. Ricochet ended up getting the victory. I didn't even watch. I'm not even reading it. I'm just guessing who won. Because how predictable could the booking be?
Oh wait, you said I think Slapjack won that.
Oh wow. Okay. Whatever.
Because I remember them making. I was looking at something. One of those recap things I look at. And they were making a big deal about Ricochet being further buried.
Oh, well. He should have. I mean, what? Where is he gonna go? I don't know. Anyway,
but this is a guy who fought Brock Lesnar. Let's not forget.
Yeah, but what the hell does that mean?
I mean, so does Zach Gowen.
I was about to say that.
Well, Zach Gowen didn't fight for the championship, did he?
I think he might have.
Nah.
Listen, the man's leg got swung against the damn ring post. I mean, that's better than any championship he could have got.
He fought young Brock. Ricochet fought Super Brock in Saudi. That's a whole other level. He had the heat against him.
All right, so moving on.
Right,
Ricochet fighting Brock Lesnar is pretty much like a burger joint down south, in and out.
All right, Drew. That was awful.
That was funny as fuck. People laughed.
Okay.
Hey,
they're gonna laugh at home. You don't get it.
Let me know if you
they're
laugh by applying in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. You know who will laugh? Jim Jones will laugh. And he laughed at the word slapjack. So he's like way gone. All right, Miz TV was on after that where Miz said that basically Drew McIntyre was a bad friend to Sheamus because Sheamus gifted him an heirloom and he didn't get a gift in return. Celtic Warrior took his jacket off, got Miz's face. He attacked Miz and Morrison until Miz attacked him with a briefcase. Second talk show of the night. Not really building towards the pay-per-view here. I mean, TLC is like 2 weeks away. I don't know if we're looking at the tea leaves for Miz squirmishly getting himself involved in the championship picture with the Money in the Bank briefcase making an appearance on Raw, but we'll see what happens. Any thoughts on that before we move on?
Nope.
Yeah.
All right. Asuka and Lana took on Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Lana got the victory over Shayna Baszler.
But you know who actually won this match, don't you?
She pinned her.
I won this match. Because I win every time Nia Jax gets in that ring and shows off just how fucking awful she is.
Did you see the spot?
What?
Did you see the spot?
Oh, I put it up on our Twitter.
Awful.
So let me describe it for people who don't have Twitter. So they do the spot where you get bumped by one opponent and the other opponent holds open the rope so you tumble out. That's the spot that they were doing. So Asuka hits Nia Jax. Nia Jax wanders around the ring for a bit, turns around to where Lana is holding up the rope, and suicide dives out that motherfucker.
Yeah. I don't know what it was.
I mean, she just kind of hopped over, but yeah, I'm looking at it now.
It's like no one helped her. No one tugged her out the ring. She did it herself.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what? Someone has talked to Nia Jax about her in-ring behavior. Because
let's just remind people this. She's not a rookie. This isn't like her second match. She's not green. How many years has she been in the... This is probably, what, year 3 that she's been on the main roster? Not counting the time she spent in NXT? Not counting the fact that she comes from a wrestling family? Like, she should not be doing this.
But Drew,
Liv Morgan should not be having better showings than you. Like,
have you noticed over the past couple weeks, she's been real careful in the ring?
Yeah, she's been careful. She still fucking sucks, though.
She's been very careful in the ring.
She's been very careful because you know that they pulled her aside and says, listen, you need to fucking figure this shit out or else you're out.
I've been watching the most laziest kicks, the most laziest punches. She's not even hitting her opponents. She's making the noise, but she's not accompanying an actual, attempt at what would look like a successful hit. She's definitely been talked to. I said enough is enough. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I have a feeling that somebody, maybe on Vince's level, maybe like, one of those executives that handles talent directly, pulled her aside and is like, listen, this can't keep on happening.
Wait. Big Johnny?
Hey, listen, Nia, I gotta talk to you. I just came from Vince's office. Oh, you should have seen his arms. They're so big. Oh, I was oiling him up. Oh, so veiny. Well, anyway, I just want to talk to you about the girls you're hurting. This is in the 80s where you could just beat up a hooker in the hotel room, shave her head, spray paint her body, and leave her there. You can't do that anymore. You gotta be gentle. If I find out from one more girl that you're hurting them, we might have to make some changes. You're not the Rock and Roll Express. You can't just be fucking these thoughts out here. Unless you're Vince and you show off how vain you are. And then, oh my gosh, I can't yell at you then. Rest in peace, Road Warrior Animal. By the way, I just sacrificed my fucking voice for that. I don't know how he talks like that on a daily basis.
I think he does. It's just not that intense. Not all that air. Not a lot of air in the regular day to day.
Yeah, you gotta let some of the sand out.
But yeah, he definitely does talk like similar to that. I've never heard him, but not like that every day. Thank you, Big Johnny. John Laurinaitis.
People power, baby.
Talent relations. We see you. Only reason why I asked. Cedric, they're doing it again, y'all. Cedric Alexander versus Xavier Woods. I don't even care. We'll move on. Unless you guys do.
No.
Okay. Main event, triple threat, number 1 contender for Drew McIntyre's championship. So we have two faces and a heel. Should have told you everything you needed to know because McIntyre is a face to this company about who was going to win this match. Heath Lee versus Riddle, formerly Matt, versus AJ Styles. So AJ Styles hit Riddle with the phenomenal forearm to get the victory and get the number one contender ship for the championship.
This kind of feels like if it was like 98 again, and you're watching a triple threat for the number one contendership. Ken Shamrock versus Billy Gunn versus The Rock. Who's going to win?
Right. Very predictable.
I think it was Mankind, but yeah. I don't think Billy Gunn was in that mix.
Do you guys expect anything to come of this for AJ?
This is for TLC or whatever the pay-per-view is?
Yeah, TLC.
Yeah, I think this was just a replacement for Braun, maybe? Or somebody, yeah. So it's probably just a one and done until the Royal Rumble program starts, or it might carry it into Royal Rumble, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that we're going to get much on this.
Like, not all, of these things should be 2-3 month feuds. Like, just some of them are okay to just be a one in, all right, let's go on to something else.
What we'll get with this match, it'll be great.
I'll say I think AJ will make Drew look good. Probably the best that anybody else has ever made him, but that's going to be a tough challenge because Drew is kind of stiff in the ring. Pause.
I mean, yeah, this is one of those times where you're watching a pay-per-view, you're saying to yourself, okay, I know this guy's not going to win, but they make it look so good like he is, and here we are. And I'm not upset at the end of the night by the finish. So that's what we'll get. It'll be a good storytelling for 2 Monday Night Raws because that's all you're going to get out of this. This TLC is in 2 weeks. Do you think bigger picture that we see Miz getting involved in this?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I agree. Rumble or Mania. It'll be stupid for him to walk into Rumble as the new champion.
Well, I guess my question is, at some point he has to get involved. They're not going to do a 2-time, someone else take it away from him, right? So before he does get to that point, what do you feel? And I know that he's already been, to the top of the mountain, quote unquote, but for right now, I would say, and maybe you guys would agree that he's not, his flame is the hottest out there right now, right? So,
well, I think that's why they had him with that Jobber Battle Royal at Survivor Series is to start getting things going. I think that you're going to see him in a few more spots that are beneficial. I can definitely see him being a Final Four in the Royal Rumble. They're going to do their best to make him look bigger than he has in the last few months.
Even with the briefcase, Drew, you think he's Final Four?
Yeah, because they gotta make him look like a contender for the belt if they're gonna have him cash it in.
That's what I'm saying. So
right now he's just mid card. They have to make him main event caliber.
Yeah. What do you think needs to put him in that spotlight for you? Like, who does he have to get a victory on, or what kind of what type of activation does he need? Because just holding the briefcase and losing all your matches don't cut it right now. It won't cut it for him, I should say.
So first off, he needs to be Final Four in that Royal Rumble. Second off, what's that?
He doesn't need to do anything right now.
Well, he won that Jobber Battle Royal, but he needs to be Final Four in Royal Rumble. He also needs to get a few matches on Raw that are late, like, main event or semi-main event and start winning some of them.
The Warzone
He
match.
needs to be up there on the card.
Yeah, he's got to get his name out there, right? I don't think they're going to waste this money to bank opportunity. So I feel like if he cashes it in, he's going to win it. And I think that Drew will be the unfortunate person.
Yep.
That makes sense because
Yeah.
Drew has to challenge for Roman if other things don't happen, right? So,
Unless what they do is they have AJ beat Drew, and then they cash it in with Miz. That way, he's not beating Drew.
That's way too soon, and it makes Drew look like a chump.
Unless Miz cashes it in at the pay-per-view, makes a triple threat, and pins AJ. That way, Drew loses it. He's not getting pinned. He still looks good, at least.
Miz is a cowardly heel, so he's not going to do that. He's not going to cash in and make it a triple threat.
He definitely would. If they're beating the shit out of each other, that's what a heel would definitely do.
Well, no, okay. I thought you meant like started a match. Like,
oh God, no.
Oh no,
he
means
Seth Rollins.
The Seth route, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, but I think it's too early. And then I also want to go back a little bit. You guys are very much disrespecting the hell out of Miz right now. Like, I mean, the man made event at WrestleMania. The man beat John Cena.
I mean, that's great, but like, that was 10 years ago.
And he was overshadowed.
But what do you? I mean, he's already a Hall of Famer in my eyes. What
is he
wearing glasses?
Miz is definitely a Hall of Famer. You kidding me?
Hey, you know what? If Tori Wilson is, then you're right.
I feel that you are putting him too high up on a pedestal for things that happened years ago. Yeah, I mean that's like us bringing back Ken Shamrock to WWE
Drew.
And saying, well, here's a main event guy.
Drew. Miz debuted when? 06? 04?
05 or 06.
And that man has been working constantly for 14 years.
That's great.
Great. Okay, Mac, would you say Dolph Ziggler's a Hall of Famer too?
No, because he's never had the WWE Championship.
He had the other champion.
That's not. Come on, now we're not counting that.
Oh,
why
now
not?
We're not doing that.
We're not counting that.
All right, I'm done with this conversation.
We got a title now. Y'all was counting that.
Okay, so let me ask you this: is Alberto Del Rio a Hall of Famer?
No.
Why?
Allegations.
That's it.
I mean, if he didn't have him, he'd be in the conversation. But yeah, no, that's open for him. You know that, Drew. Find me somebody who's been working at.
We did Dolph Ziggler.
Like Miz has been working at.
Dolph Ziggler.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
Dolph Ziggler's never in his life will ever main event WrestleMania.
You was on this podcast caping for Dolph. Now you telling me that? Oh, come on, man. I can't do this with you.
I was always caping for Dolph on the mid-card level. Never championship heavyweight level. Never.
Is Kofi Kingston a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
That's a stutter. That I have a feeling you're saying yes just to prove your Miz point.
No,
you don't actually believe that Kofi is a Hall of Famer.
The hesitation was he as a singles competitor a Hall of Famer? So I started to say no, but then I thought about New Day. So yes, he is a Hall of Famer.
Not with New Day. He's not going with New Day. This is solo Hall of Fame.
The hell no.
Even though he's been grinding the same amount of time as Miz, he's been a WWE champion. He won at WrestleMania. He's not a main event. He's not a Hall of Famer, but Miz is.
And won the match with no help.
Yo, you know what? I forgot about his old singles run. Okay, he is a Hall of Famer. Yes. Yes. He is by far the most accomplished wrestler in that New Day group. He's been IC champion before. He's done 2 different gimmicks. This one, widely successful. Won the championship, went through a gauntlet through Vince, got the biggest stage where he got the championship. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
I don't like.
So am I just interpreting this correctly that anyone who wins the WWE Championship is a Hall of Famer?
That's what it sounds like.
No, how was Kofi not a Hall of Famer? Are you kidding me?
Because you said no until I brought up the fact that he was WWE champion, and you went, "Oh, my bad. No, he's a Hall of Famer."
No, Drew. Sometimes you got to talk things out. I mainly put him in because of his past body of work as an IC champion, as Kofi from Jamaica.
Okay, so let's talk about another guy who debuted around that same time and is a former WWE champion.
Ooh.
Jinder Mahal. Is that a Hall of Famer?
Drew, man, you dragging it, man. Come on, man. You know the answer to
that. I want to hear it from your mouth, though. I want to hear it. Say it for me.
What kind of Rocco Modern Life shit you on? From my mouth to your ears, Drew Pauls. He is not in the Hall of Fame. But y'all definitely throwing some real shade on Miz. Come on now. Stop it. Stop.
Listen, we don't have Hall of Fame criteria, so I don't even want to talk about it no more.
We're talking like same interest music, same character, man been hustling. That man he's let that gimmick work for years and has been successful. Shout out to Miz, man. Miz don't get no respect. I'm caping for Miz all day. That's my guy.
Rodney Dangerfield of WWE, man.
Yeah, and I do want to see him get the championship. I would love to see him get it at Mania. I don't want him to pop on it right now. I would love for him to wait.
2K21, he on the cover. You buying it?
Dude, listen. His daughter can be on the cover, and I'm buying this shit.
Oh, man. You just going all in with it now.
I'm just saying, I really like Miz.
Here's my question, though. When we're talking about credentials, we're talking about like accomplishments to get you into Hall of Fame. Let me ask you about these accomplishments right here and ask you if this is a Hall of Fame career.
I'll set him up, huh, Drew?
6 Intercontinental Championships, 2 U.S. Championships.
Okay.
2 Heavyweight Championships, 2 Tag Titles.
Okay, Dolph Ziggler, no, you're not in the Hall of Fame. Sorry, you're just not.
Who said that was Dolph?
Who is it?
I'm asking you first. I want you to tell me on those credentials.
No.
Why?
Are they WWE championships or World Heavyweight Championships? I need to know.
Why does it matter? They're that's like saying, is it Universal Championship or is it WWE Championship?
The World Heavyweight Championship is not some WWE shit. So no, I'm not hearing that.
That's bullshit. Headline WrestleMania several times actually.
Yeah. Okay, because of who was the champion.
Okay, so it was the same belt. It was the same fucking belt.
Drew, Triple H can come back, win the 24/7 championship, and it'd be put in a predominant spot at Mania. Stop it.
Bullshit.
Stop it. You will keep feeding me this Dolph Ziggler bullshit. I'm just telling you.
Bullshit.
Not a Hall of Fame. Stop it.
You are on some bullshit right now.
No, you on some bullshit right now.
Those credentials are not a Hall of Fame career.
No.
But Torrey fucking Wilson's a Hall of Famer.
Torrey, not in my eyes.
Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake is a Hall of Famer.
Are you asking me? Do I think they're a Hall of Famer?
I'm not asking you if they're a Hall of Famer in the Total Mac Hall of Fame. I'm asking you, is that a Hall of Fame career in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Dolph Ziggler, Knuckles is down to the white meat. No. He's knocking. He can't get in. Sorry.
You're on some bullshit.
I'm not.
He just said it because he thinks it's Dolph.
I know it's Dolph. Who is it, Drew?
That's Dolph Ziggler. All those accolades. That's Dolph Ziggler.
I know exactly who it is. No. Sorry.
Dude showed up as a male cheerleader went from a male cheerleader to a caddy for Kerwin fucking White, and after that accomplished all that, and he's not a Hall of Famer.
Nope.
That's some bullshit, man. I'm sorry. I don't like Dolph Ziggler's current run. I think that he's garbage right now, but that career is a Hall of Fame career. I'm
8-time Continental Champion, 2-time U.S. Champion, 8-time Tag Team Champion, held the U.S. title and the WWE World Tag Team Championship, and the World Tag Team and the WWE Tag Team at the same damn time. Miz made the spinning belt look super cool. Former champion there. Yo, he's better than Dolph Ziggler.
The Miz wasn't even the star of his own WrestleMania.
I don't care. He's won Money in the Bank.
And it
So did Dolph.
His spinner belt was just John Cena's turned upside down.
Grand Slam.
Yeah. Dolph won the Money in the Bank too, and he cashed in and won.
Grand Slam champ. 25th Triple Crown champion. He's got 2 Money in the Banks. Didn't he cash in the first one successfully? Oh, okay.
Who? Miz?
Yeah.
I think so.
Don't know what we're talking about, man. I just want to know. Yeah, I hate Miz on the show. I don't get it. At least you do, Drew. But you love Dolph. I don't get it, man. It's backwards, man.
I didn't say I hate Miz. I'm not a big fan of what he's doing right now.
Drew, you got one Hall of Fame. Who's it going to? Dolph or Miz? Let's end this shit now.
Why don't they both make the Hall of Fame? Why can't they both make the Hall of Fame?
You got one vote. Who is it? Exactly. Let's move on. For if I go ask you, because I already know what time you on. But Drew, come on, man. You can't hide that. Miz is a better wrestler overall. So when you say the man has got a decorated career, more decorated than Dolph Ziggler, and you say that he still needs to do late Warzone, 10 o'clock matches? No. Why? I don't get it. He's been proven.
I still think you're on some bullshit, but okay.
I do think what might change your mind is maybe he gets the 3rd or 4th reign at a WWE championship. Then I think it's hands down in your eyes. With him only having one title reign, even though it was a long one, but it was only one, I can see that. I'm just saying, Dolph Ziggler, not a chance.
Do you have any memorable Miz matches in your mind?
The match with John Cena. That's the only one that's that would be John Cena, man. I ain't trying to hear that. No.
Oh my God.
Well, no. It was a match with Roman when he beat him for the U.S. Championship. That was a good match.
Oh, and Roman didn't want it.
No, this is much, boy. I don't get it, man.
I mean, just say what it is, dude. Why you talking about when he beat Roman? Come on now, go back and play that. You know damn well. That
match, I gave you one. I don't care if you man wanted it or not. He went up there. He had a job to do. He made it look good. Miz won. End the story. I'm just saying, man.
I hear you.
I hate when he's doing that with John Morrison, but every champion has to have a lackey with him. And if the long game was to bring John Morrison back to be Mrs. Lackey, cool, but whatever. I just think you can start throwing them up with the greats.
The greats, wow.
The current greats.
You want Miz on the Mount Rushmore?
Drew, is Miz better than Seth Rollins?
No.
Swervy?
No, he's not better than Seth Rollins.
All right. Heat check. I agree with that. Y'all hate Seth too, so I'm just trying to see where y'all at.
Seth annoys me, but I still respect the fact that he's better than Miz.
So while we're here talking about Seth, something just popped in my head. Do you think that Seth is going to be off for the amount of time for him to be qualified as a huge pop when he comes back in the Rumble? Because that's one of your final four right there, if he comes back.
Well, he's not coming back for Royal Rumble. That baby's due in late December. He's not coming back for the Rumble.
Another reason why Miz should be Hall of Fame. Man, had that baby drop, it was still on Monday Night Raw, still defending that championship. Dedication.
Hell of a parent.
Hey, we talking about parenting or we talking about wrestling? What you talking about?
He's the Eddie Kingston of WWE, man. He didn't tell his wife, this is why I got this belt. But to answer your question, I forgot what it was. What'd you say about Seth?
Is Seth gonna be gone long enough for him to get a pop?
Oh, so I think that when he came back, he would get a huge pop, only because he's already gotten such a pop, but they ruined it.
How so?
Well, when he came back from that injury, the first time he got injured for a long, he was out for like 9 months. He had a huge pop, but they ruined it by making him turn heel. Right then and there.
Okay, so let's kind of forecast this because I think our plan B, if Dwayne doesn't show up, I think the plan B is Seth and Roman main event WrestleMania. And if Roman's if Seth's gonna be gone due to Becky and her motherhood, Seth comes back and is gonna be a face.
I don't know what Seth's plan could be, but I don't think it has to do with him. I don't think it's him and Roman at all.
They're both on SmackDown.
No, I know that's very easy to come up with that, but I just don't think it's happened. I think it's Roman and Drew is the plan B.
For unification?
No, for Drew going after that belt because he doesn't have his own anymore. This whole thing, this whole time we spent on Miz, I do think he's gonna cash it in and win. I don't know how, on who, but I don't think Drew will have it anymore if they don't get what they want.
So, Tamar, are you saying all of this is gonna happen before Rumble?
No, it could happen afterwards or whatever. But whatever, however long you need to build that storyline between Drew and Roman Reigns, so they can have a rematch. They already even put it. They already did what they did in Survivor Series.
Well, he's not getting that pop because there's not going to be any fans there when he comes back.
Well, now the pop I'm talking about is the pop. Because that's all you're going to get. That's real interesting for you to say, Swerve. I don't know about that, man. It makes sense, though, but I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's just too easy to say Seth and Roman just because they're on the same show, and Seth, if he comes back, he would come back, and you automatically face when you come back. Let's just face it, right? Until you open your mouth and decide to say something. But I just don't think it's going to happen with them two. I mean, it's something. First of all, it's something we already seen. And I don't think they're going to do that for WrestleMania, fan or no fan. Abby is on, just in case you're wondering.
Oh,
well, let's go ahead and get to it. The avid listener, aka certified gangster. Abby Licious, man. What's good with you, dog?
Hello, gang.
how's it going?
Not too bad. How are you guys?
I'm hanging in there.
I'll tell you based on this answer. I'm pretty listening. Abby, is Miz a Hall of Famer?
I hate that guy. I would prefer him never to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh my God. Boot him.
Abby, let me ask you this right now. If you had to choose the Miz or Dolph Ziggler, who's in the Hall of Fame?
This is crap. I have to say Miz because he actually won something.
Thank you.
So we're gonna hang up on Abby right now.
We appreciate you for coming on the show tonight, man. We got a lot to talk about. We saved AEW. We put it right in the sweet spot just for you. We just capped it off Raw, and you've listened to us talk about WrestleMania forecasting and how Roman and Seth or Roman and Drew is going to happen if Roman and Rock doesn't happen. If you have any thoughts, please share. But I swear, you bring up an interesting point as far as Drew going to SmackDown. But that would tell me, my wife is just banging pots together. that would tell me that TLC, I need to keep my eyes glued to that match, because something you guys brought up before, which was if Seth or if Drew loses, they're going to protect him by having that triple threat Seth version, where he comes out once the two guys have been beating their asses to smithereens, and Seth comes out, does the cowardly thing, and try to cash in on, free labor.
Yeah, because I mean, AJ Styles is what? He's 42. You don't need to protect him. He's
right.
He's not going to be in many more huge angles, and even if he is, he doesn't really need the protection. So you can have Miz come in and beat him, no problem.
Yeah, Miz. I'll tell you what, if Miz pins AJ Styles, then that is exactly the main event that they're doing. They're doing Roman and McIntyre. If Miz pins AJ at TLC, because I think it has to happen before Rumble, because McIntyre is going to be on his road to retribution to get his championship back, and then he has to compete in the Royal Rumble and win it for the second time. So
that could definitely go down. I wonder though, do you think they're trying to shove Drew down your throat by giving them too many big accolades too soon? Because that would mean within the span of less than a year's time or a year's time, he's been a 2-time champ and a 2-time Royal Rumble winner, right?
I'll answer your question by asking you a question. Who is the biggest face in the company right now?
Well, Undertaker left.
In their eyes,
And a damn train Keith Lee. I'll tell you that.
I would probably say Drew.
Exactly. So there's your answer right there. So I don't know if they view it as forcing.
Well, you know what? It is, but there's a guy who could be bigger if they wanted him to be. They just always want to keep him down, and his name is Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I don't know. Is it contract related? I don't know what the deal is with Daniel Bryan right now.
Well, right now, from what I have seen, I'm going to throw this. We're going to throw out some soil right now. Not so much dirt, but some soil.
Okay.
What's that?
Some topsoil?
Yeah.
All the crappy stuff with bits and rocks in it.
So the idea is to get to Roman versus Daniel Bryan for Royal Rumble. So that's most likely going to headline Royal Rumble. And a lot of people are thinking, because Daniel Bryan's already said this is his last full-time run with the company. And after this, he's really going to part-time. He doesn't really have it anymore. So a lot of people are thinking that we could see a title switch at Royal Rumble where Daniel Bryan goes on one final title run, and then Roman could take it back at SummerSlam.
And just completely ignore everything. What would happen at WrestleMania then? What would he do?
Well, he would probably do something like with him and Drew at WrestleMania or something like that. But it also could culminate into him and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, non-title. Because I know that they've been feuding on SmackDown a little bit. So that could be his feud going into WrestleMania because I don't think that Kevin Owens is going to be having a title match at WrestleMania. So I can see him feuding with just Roman and Daniel Bryan taking the belt into WrestleMania and having one final run with it and then dropping it at SummerSlam.
Let me ask all you guys this question here then. Out of all the possibilities we just talked about for WrestleMania, out of people we think that will for definitely be there, what is the money match? Who are the two that you put in the money match?
We're not including Rock, right?
No, we're not including Rock.
I think it's Drew and Roman Part 2.
Yep.
There you go. So that has to be what you try to get to above all else.
I think they have the story angles in place where the timeline is you have AJ against Drew. You have them beat the shit out of each other at TLC. You have Miz coming to cash in, pin AJ. Then Drew saying, I want my title shot. Well, technically, you didn't lose to me, bro. Sorry, I'm not going to give it to you, says Miz. He goes on this conquest to say, I want to earn my way back to get the championship. Wins at Royal Rumble for the second time. Swerves us. Doesn't challenge Miz and challenges Roman instead. Then you have your match. That's I mean,
my only issue with that is, but I think that when you win the Royal Rumble, you have to challenge for the belt of the show that you're on. I think that that's the current rule. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be.
Even if you're right, they're not going to stick to that, so it doesn't matter.
They're not going to be doing any trades because the draft has already happened. So they're on different shows. They're not competing at WrestleMania. And if they are, it's not going to be for a belt.
Well, when Asuka won, didn't she have the choice?
She had the choice, but Nakamura didn't.
Yeah, Drew. I mean, they're not going to stick to those things you're saying. They're going to do what's right to make what's necessary to make it happen. They're not going to stick to those. Oh, I'm not on the show, so I can't do this kind of thing. No one cares about that. They never even stick to the damn brand split when they after they just have it.
You're telling me they're going to put in front a technicality that have a money match at WrestleMania?
It depends on how Vince is feeling that day. You know how he is. If he's deciding, hey, our rules matter and the brand split matters, then they are going to put that technicality first.
I love how.
But if he wakes up that day and is like, hey, fuck this brand split, then yeah, we're going to have that match.
I love when Drew started talking like he's Vince's caretaker.
No, you know what though? He's right because we'll the script in a minute. What venue was that where he was changing the ending like as the show was going on?
Fucking all of them.
Oh man! All right, let's breeze through SmackDown, and then we'll get to some AEW. So Reigns calls out Jey Uso for failing the family. I mean, this is like me yelling at an old man who can't walk. I mean, come on, man. What do you expect? It's Jey Uso.
Hall of Famer.
Who? Roman?
Jey Uso.
All right. Listen, if there was a Hall of Fame for just tag teams, yeah, you might have an argument. But come on, man.
Well, tag teams are in there.
I mean, Usos they're a really good tag team. When you break it down, they're really good. Hall of Famer, I don't know yet.
Bring the penitentiary to the Hall of Fame.
They would do some shit like that. Like, oh, they got to be 50 years old. You go, what the fuck is this, man? Street Profits took on Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler get the win. So hey, Hall of Fame.
Another accolade.
You know what I mean? Sami Zayn took on Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan ended up losing by countout, but the story does not end here. According to Bleacher Report, it says going into the night, Bryan versus Zayn sounded like the main event, and the two worked it like a main event. This was intense throughout, and the two men had their best clash together to date. It was a showcase of the immense talent of the top stars. This is one of the best matches on SmackDown in months. Sami Zayn continues to thrive as an opportunist, even if he deserves to look more dominant. He has had great matches and made every finish memorable. So, sounds like TLC rematch, possibly for the Intercontinental Championship. Drew, if Bryan wins at TLC, if that's the plan, your SummerSlam run is dead. I think.
I don't know. I can definitely see them giving him that run.
I wouldn't put it past him because he's a big name. Moving on, Bianca Belair.
Well, hold on, guys. Before we move on to that, let me ask a question that no one's asked about Sami Zayn. Just based off the words that you use, Mac. Is Sami Zayn looking like, you know how they called Edge the ultimate opportunist? If you had to give that title to somebody else, would you give it to Sami Zayn now, or is it too soon?
Right now, I would.
You would right now?
Yeah, but I think it's a cap on his opportunism, though. I don't think he's.
Well, then you can't give it to him then.
Well, I don't see any championships in his forecast. I mean, his opportunistic ways are for him to retain a championship versus getting a title shot.
Okay.
I'll say that. I don't think he's trying to gain. I think he's trying to keep. And he's doing everything in his power to keep. Maybe because he knows he's a subpar wrestler on paper.
No, that's just good heel work. That's all I would say.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying on paper. Moving on, Swerve's girl, Bianca Belair, defeated Natty by way of pinfall.
Hey.
I mean, hey, Women's Royal Rumble coming around the corner. I mean, hey, WrestleMania, where stars are born. Just saying. Time to cash in on that.
They're gonna have her eliminate 28 other females, then get eliminated by Lana.
Yeah.
Natty to the final four. Young up and comer.
Young up and coming says. King Corbin took on Murphy. Murphy swooping in on Aaliyah. As he's accompanied by the Mysterio family. I don't like this at all, but I told you, Drew, Murphy's getting that buzz. He defeated King Corbin. Murphy's gonna be a player in the Royal Rumble. This is the time of the year where you're looking at players for the Rumble. He's gonna be one of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, he defeated the obvious Hall of Famer, King Corbin.
Hey, listen, King Corbin is definitely he's in a No Pyro podcast Hall of Fame. I'm just saying, he's here. Hasn't done shit since, but feet submitted. He's planted. He's there. Moving on, Jey Uso taking on Kevin Owens. I don't know if this is a match that was deemed to say, hey, Big Cuz, I'm going to take on Kevin Owens and show you I belong at the table with the family. Kevin Owens ended up winning by DQ. The DQ happened because he fought him off with a stunner, then threw Jay over the announce table before grabbing a steel chair. He called out Reigns, Kevin Owens, as he smacked down Uso, and he demanded Reigns to face him, but Reigns and Heyman only watched from backstage. So,
I mean, just people they doing, man. Can't nobody even beat Jey Uso now.
listen, the sarcasm is very prevalent, man. You don't believe that. I'm not going to read the full analysis, but Bleacher Report's first sentence says, We have gotten to the point where Jay can main event SmackDown most weeks, and it never feels wrong. Welcome to 2020, because never did I think I would need to hear Jey Uso main eventing any show as a singles competitor, and it not feeling wrong. He's a sacrificial lamb in the story. He's somebody to keep things loose. So, I mean, it is what it is with Jey Uso. But
you could have that every time they want if you just build new stars.
We've been saying this since this podcast inception, bro. Well, did you gentlemen have anything else besides SmackDown before we move on?
I just had one thing. Now that Abby's on the line, I want to present. I call it a trivia question, but I don't know the answer, so I don't know if I could actually call it a trivia question. But I want to ask you guys, and if anyone knows the answer, feel free to shout it out. Can you remember any of the Nitro intros where they would show people on the building?
Yo, yeah.
Okay. Does anybody know who the Giant was choke slamming?
Wow.
I think it was Ray.
No, it definitely wasn't Ray. I watched this video like 4 times. I still can't tell, but it's not Ray.
Oh, I thought it might have been either a Cruiserweight or Disco Inferno.
Was it Disco with the mask?
Could be Disco. I don't know.
I don't know who Paul White was slamming.
Oh. See, I got it. See what this looks like. Luger? No, not Luger.
You see the black tights, you think it looks like it could be him, right? What?
It looks like Macho Man. Like it's not. It's a guy with no shirt and black pants. It looks like Macho Man.
It's really tough to tell, man.
That is an obscure question.
What did you say?
It's an obscure question.
I mean, hey, it's a wrestling question.
What made you think of this?
Just watching it earlier, and I said,
"That's Mongo."
It's Mongo.
Steve McMichael.
You cheated, didn't you, Drew?
No, I have it up right now, but I recognize those trunks.
Whoa.
So yeah, there's that. Hey, have you guys ever been blocked by a wrestling personality on Twitter?
No.
I have.
Who was that?
There's a story to be had here.
So I was blocked by Jim Cornette.
Oh, really?
Did you bring up his wife?
No, I've been blocked by him longer than that story. It was back even before AEW was a thing. You know, it was the time when he was like shitting on, you know, all like those indie wrestlers, like all the Bullet Club guys, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, and he was doing his rants. And I had said something like, you know, if the Young Bucks changed their name to the Young Buck Express, he would be beating off to them like, he'd be do something like beating off to them like the Rock and Roll Express to 16-year-olds or something like that.
I thought this was because he's heard our podcast when he was featured on it.
I can't remember what the exact tweet was, of course, because, you know, it was deleted with the block. But man. Yeah, I am blocked by Jim Cornette. I have been for years.
Oh, you were putting in work before we even started this podcast, huh?
I yes, sir.
I'm sure you weren't the only podcast going off about Cornette that week.
Hey, if he's lucky, he'll get some wrestlers to go off on his wife.
Oh boy. Well, so we have it. Where are we going next?
Oh, we're gonna go to AEW or Dirt.
I think you have all the tools you need to do AEW, my man.
All right. Well, let's make like Ellen Page and make a good transition here. I'm pulling up Dynamite now.
Too soon, Drew. Too soon.
Sorry, let me be politically correct. Elliot Page. So, did you watch Dynamite?
Yeah, Swerve. Did you watch Dynamite? Your favorite weekly show of wrestling?
I can't recall if I did or not. Now, to be honest, because that was before Thanksgiving, and I don't. We didn't even talk about that. But yeah, I don't. I think I did, but I'm not too sure. Was I texting you, Abby?
Yes, we watched it.
All right, I watched it. So my memory's bad. I'm back to work now, so I'm just like I'm trying to remember passwords again. So I got to shovel all this other stuff out of my head.
Because the first match you had your complaints about there, Swerve.
Who was it? Damn, who was it?
Oh,
it was Adam Page against John Silver.
Oh yeah. I was like, okay. I remember saying I remember that Hangman needed a win, so they threw in.
You called one of the hottest names in AEW a jobber.
So here's my problem with John Silver, right? My biggest problem with John Silver is that he's in the group Dark Order, which is supposed to be like, this menacing cult-like group. And it just seems like they never have an identity, this group.
Wasn't he on a shot of brandy or something celebrating? I mean,
he was on that, but he's jumping around this ring, fist bumping Hangman Page, just being a goof in the ring. And it's like, dude, can you imagine if during the days of the Nation domination, fucking Kama Mustafa was jumping around the ring acting like a goof? Like have an identity for this group. If they're going to be goofballs, have them be goofballs. If they're going to be serious and menacing, have them be serious and menacing. But don't give me serious and menacing and then have John Silver jumping around the ring like an idiot.
It was definitely a carryover from BTE where they should have just said, stop. The comedy's going to stop at BTE because from an outsider perspective who doesn't watch it, you're just to that point where you're thinking, this is supposed to be some menacing dark group that's trying to recruit, more members into the cult. And this guy's kind of, flexing and looking kind of like almost like he's got like a Buff Bagwell persona in the ring.
Well, that could work if he was like being super cocky, but is that not what is he doing that? I mean, because if it's not, then he's just losing all his matches. I don't see the point in any of this.
He's not being cocky. It just seems to be his persona.
Like, I don't think the whole group has to be dark and menacing, but you do have to be a heel. If you're out there having fun, then I don't want to see that.
So this is where that's his persona in all the feds he's ever been in. He's just like this cocky, small, muscular guy, and he just does that. That's his just overall.
So then don't put him in the Dark Order. Like don't have him in that group.
I was almost wondering if he'd be a good candidate to be the first person to defect from Dark Order.
He would work in the Nightmare Family because he does the same like physical mannerisms that Cody does. The jumping around, the push-ups, all that shit. He does the exact same bullshit. So put him in the Nightmare Family. Don't put him in the Dark Order. He doesn't belong there.
And I hate it when Cody does it because he's no Scott Steiner. He does not have that belly to belly down, so I don't want to see it.
And you do not own any Fuddruckers, sir, so you do not get to do that.
Overall, this ended up being a very good match to start the show. I know Swerve he still finds Silver to be a jobber out there, but he was really good in this match.
Well, Abby, is he the leading man of no, I'm sorry, not the leading man. Is he like the second leading man of the Dark Order?
No.
Evil Uno is second.
Who's second?
Evil Uno.
He's not even third.
Have I even
Third
seen
is
that guy
Stu
yet?
Grayson.
He's just
What
gotten a
was, like,
lot.
fifth?
He's gotten social media popular, so they're trying to, run with that and put him into TV popular. That's why he's gotten a lot of matches on Dynamite as of late. But I do want to call out the end of this match where all of Dark Order came out. They didn't beat up Hangman, which they've done in the past, and they actually sort of calmly made the point that he would be a good member to join Dark Order and left it at that, which is a pretty good way to kind of keep Hangman going and find a storyline there.
Well, for our second segment, Will Hobbs, now known as Powerhouse Hobbs, was given the company expense card for Team Taz to get a new outfit. He got some new ring gear.
But
did you see what else he got himself?
It felt like the Keith Lee transition, in a sense, except for a corny ass name.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
I mean, that's truly a WCW jobber name now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He's definitely Saturday morning material.
Next up in the WCW power plant, it's Powerhouse Hobbs taking on Hugh Morris. But did you see what else he bought with that expensive? Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
He's a power plant legend right there, Hugh Morris.
He's a legend in a lot of ways.
Oh man!
Did you see what else he got himself with that expense account besides just a new outfit?
I didn't. What did he get? What else did he get?
Yeah, no.
He got himself some Grubhub. He got himself some ham.
Oh.
Got himself some eggs.
Never seen this coming.
He caught us this time. To be fair, Lee Johnson has had a lot of matches at this point. I don't even know if he's still technically a jobber.
Oh,
having a lot of matches.
What? He got that ass whooped like a jobber. He got that fucking work.
I guess if you want to call him like Barry Horowitz or something.
Yeah, Barry Horowitz is still a jobber too. I mean, just because your match count high, don't mean you're not a jobber.
But yeah, his big power slam is pretty impressive. That put him away.
This match didn't really mean anything, but what did mean something was the post match. So what we got post match is Taz comes out, tells Will Hobbs to fuck off so he can do a promo. And then proceeds to demand to know why the management doesn't take the FTW title seriously, why they're constantly buried on TV. Now, this is carrying over from a Twitter argument that he had with Cody Rhodes, where Cody Rhodes had said that he hates the FTW title. He thinks it's tacky and shit like that. So Taz is demanding answers. He consistently gets his mic cut off. Eventually, Cody comes out and is doing the whole, hey, everyone applaud for Taz. He's on his way out. Taz, get the fuck out of the ring. You're wasting time. And Taz stumbles through his promo, as he always does. But then it gets to a point where Cody's finally like, okay, you want to know why nobody likes the FTW title? Because if the FTW way of life was so good, why is your son trained to be a wrestler with me and not you?
And the crowd was like, ooh.
That needed a crowd.
Yeah. Taz did sell this really good. Because Taz was like, bro, seriously? This led to him breaking out the Taz mission and slightly choking Cody out. You can definitely tell he hasn't locked that in years. Because that shit was not... That was a John Cena Taz mission right there. That was not cinched in whatsoever. But then he leaves with his son Hook. What a fucking name!
Oh, like Red Hook, Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought this named Red.
I thought this was fantastic. This entire promo. I bought into Taz, going off on the management and everything. And I think the first thing I said to Swerve was, Taz wants to be in the ring so bad. He wants to get back and be in the ring so bad.
Oh yeah. He's fucking dying to be back in that ring.
He was cutting a killer promo as if he was still trying to gun for a title.
And I mean, he raised the stock of his stable big time with that promo. Because now that's a talked about angle. Now it's not just, oh yeah, it's Taz and his guys. It's, okay, let's see where this goes.
After he so casually swept his new guy off the ring and said, please step out, I got something to say.
Yeah, I mean, I joke about Taz a lot, but if he wanted to, he could, definitely Paul Heyman somebody's way to success. I don't know who, but he should be able to do that.
The only thing that I'm just worried about is this is going to introduce his kid into this, sort of like another child of a professional wrestler and another Fed who has no right to be in a ring and main eventing pay-per-views.
We're gonna get Hook's Inertia versus Austin Gunn on Dark, like 8 weeks in a row.
And think about this.
I'll take that versus main eventing a pay-per-view against Seth Rollins. I mean,
that's true.
One day we'll have Hook versus Dominic.
FTW on a pole match. We now have Top Flight taking on TH2.
Did you say THQ?
TH2. The Hybrid 2. What did you think about this match?
I completely forgot the Hybrid was even a thing. I thought they just let go by AEW, but I guess they were stuck in different places and couldn't get here. I still find them to be a really corny sort of tag team. But the Top Flight's pretty good, but they are pretty much the Bucks, part 2.
Yeah.
All flippy all the time.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And so is TH2. So this match really had no chemistry whatsoever in it. It was just 4 guys wrestling like this was a backyard.
Well, there's just so much setting up of moves, and you could just see them trying to plan things out and set things up. It's just, I couldn't keep my attention on it. I was just kind of bored after a while with it.
And JR sitting at ringside just seething watching this shit. Because, that's wrestling that he fucking hates. He hates when he's trying to commentate and there's just no story to tell. Plus, he has no idea who these people are.
I mean, Tough Flight's super young. I get that they're like a hot prospect and everything, but they should have done more dark matches before they threw them into Dynamite.
So, what we get to now is Matt Hardy promo backstage. It seems like he's doing a heel turn now, which is weird because nothing really prompted it. He did his Elite Deletion match with Sammy Guevara. And then out of nowhere, he just switches to cocky heel who shits on the fans and is above everyone. He was literally just doing the delete thing for the fans 2 weeks ago. This is a little out of nowhere. What is your thoughts on it?
I think it's out of nowhere. Again, you have to be one of those people that follows BTE and Sammy's blog and other stuff because it's been building up on there, but you wouldn't know it if you've never watched it. So,
Jesus Christ, like AEW should not be like fucking Kingdom Hearts. Like I shouldn't have to play all the DS games to fucking play Kingdom Hearts 3. Like
yeah, so they right after that pay-per-view, actually it was building up even before the pay-per-view, but Matt has slowly been building up this whole I'm the reason tag wrestling is the way it is these days. I'm the reason he doesn't call it, but he's TLC, that's why TLC exists. So that he's just been slowly building that up, and now it's now making it to regular Dynamite to confuse people who haven't followed anything behind the scenes.
They need to stop with the BTE shit. Like, yeah, have the show, that's fine. Stop making this a part of your storylines. It is impossible to keep track of everyone's fucking video blog. On top of that, BT for me has become almost unwatchable. I don't want to see a bunch of comedy skits that seem to be produced by Vince McMahon, where they have to be overproduced with corny jokes. I don't care for it. I don't want to see it. BT can be the backstage hanging out shit that they used to do. I don't want to see 30 comedy skits every fucking Monday and then have to follow along with them. It doesn't help your programming. It's almost like if WWE came out and was like, hey, did you see Shotgun Saturday Night Live at 12 till 12 a.m. on Saturday? No. Well, then you missed the fact that Savio Vega joined the Nation of Domination. What? Like, what the fuck? Like, you have 2 hours of programming.
That's where you like. So I said you find out that's where John Silver's like comedy stuff bleeds through. When like if you watch BTE, yeah, he does all the comedy stuff, but he's like deathly afraid of Anna Jay, which they don't really bring into Dynamite, which might help make things stay cohesive. And then the Matt Hardy thing is again confusing because you don't see it. And I know Swervy's going to love this, but they invented the BTE title. Hopefully that never makes it to TV because it's the closest thing they have to like a 24/7 title.
Oh,
I believe John Silver is the current champion after initially winning it during a putt-putt golf tournament.
Oh my God, they are just totally copying WWE. That's never a good thing.
Well, I don't think it's like at this point as hokey, like having 30 and 40 title changes in a week.
Oh, it just got started. Give us some time.
I think they're just as long as they leave that thing on BTE and it never makes it to Dynamite, I'll be fine with that.
Well, right now their hokey championship is Taz's belt, which they have, still fighting for credibility, I guess.
That has lots of credibility going all the way back to ECW.
Yeah.
Anywho, SCU takes on Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. Both Chris Jericho and Christopher Daniels are around 45 years old, and this is the first time either of them have faced each other ever. So that's interesting.
It's pretty impressive. All the feds that Daniels has been through, that they've never ever crossed paths.
And they've been in the same federation.
I would have made a money promo match out of that. They just wasted it on Dynamite. Like, come on.
They really threw this together just because of something that happened in the prior week. I like where Survey's going. This could have been something built up more. Talk about the guys, Daniels and Jericho's histories and things like that. It could have been a more compelling storyline.
Yeah. Now, granted, you probably had to do more with Christopher Daniels first to get him there before you do it. But, they have a lot of time between pay-per-views. You could have got it done.
They'll probably do that with a one-on-one because that's what they're doing for the upcoming special with Jericho and Kazarian. Is first time these two have ever wrestled, and they're doing it on that I guess super card. But the entire match, Inner Circle was getting involved. However, and at the end of it, Inner Circle did get the win. After the match, Daniels hit MJF, which led to MJF complaining during the post-match interview. Jericho bitching about the fact that he got beat down by SCU after the match. It was just a lot. What did you think?
Cluster F, I thought. Hager looked completely lost in this match. I think he's still feeling the effects of his last bout.
And here I was happy to see him wrestling for a change.
But I guess, and it's almost like they quickly went back to the Jericho Hager tag team that is on a mission to win the tag titles. And I'm not quite sure where they're going with this, since there's many other tag teams that are in the title picture right now. And like maybe it's just a stepping stone to get this thing going again with SCU. And then I think, did Scorpio Sky run out? I think he ran out.
I think so.
After we thought Scorpio Sky joined the Nightmare family and was going on a singles run, but now he's back with SCU again for no apparent reason.
Yeah, they kind of did him like they did the Iconics.
The next part, so earlier in the night, they did a interview backstage with Kenny Omega. Kenny cut, in my opinion, great promo. Talked about Moxley, talked about how, he acknowledges his loss a year ago, how everything changes but stays the same, how, when they last fought, he was nursing injuries, and Moxley got the win, and now we cut to Moxley's recovering from injuries. And it's going to be Omega that wins, but he wants to say, listen, let's have a gentleman's agreement, no stipulation, just an agreement. Leave the garbage wrestling at home. If you think you can beat me with skill. Leave all your bullshit at home. Leave your tables, leave your chairs, leave your barbed wire at home where it belongs. Come just wrestle me. And then he congratulated him on his wife's pregnancy and says, you know what? Your promo last week, you talked about how tough your dad was on you. I think you're full of shit. And I think my dad's tougher than you. That last part was a little weird, where he compared his father to Moxley's father. But other than that, I thought the promo was solid.
Anything your dad can do, my dad can do better.
I thought this was killer. I'm set for this coming week.
Well, then we get to the contract signing in the ring. Now, you remember last week we were supposed to have contract signing. Moxley got laid out backstage. So Omega's coming to the ring first. He gets his intro where Justin Roberts lists off his accolades. He has the ladies dancing with the brooms. He has a silhouette in the entranceway. And then you see through the silhouette, Moxley's just beating the shit out of Omega. Shoves him through the little silhouette curtain, just starts beating the shit out of him in the ring. Hops on the microphone, says, this isn't a joke. You want me to, gentleman's agreement? Yeah, it's a bunch of shit. I forgot what else he said.
He said, I don't know who you hired to take me out last week, but they did a piss poor job.
Oh, that, and he also said this isn't BT. This isn't a joke at AEW or at whatever they're calling their super card next week. Winter is coming. It's not going to be a joke. You're going to get your ass kicked again. And then he signed the contract. I thought it was great. I'm not doing it justice describing it, obviously, but I definitely suggest going back and looking at it again. It was a great build-up to this title match.
It brought the intensity and everything you want from these two guys, and you still have the mystery of whether Kenny was in fact the one that did go after Moxley last week, or is it someone he hired, or is it something else going on.
Yeah, I think it's Rikishi, but we could hold that.
He's
Hold
busy.
that.
He's got to face Roman.
Then what we do get is we get Darby Allin doing yet another video that will somehow be evidence for a school shooting.
Yo, dude.
What are these fucking videos? This thing looks like
sense.
something that like the fucking Columbine kids would have in their fucking backyard when you search through all the evidence going, the fuck were these kids watching? He's spray painting shit on a car in black and white and then sets it on fire, but the flames are in color.
It's like a dark version of Jackass. And you're not quite sure what the message is he's trying to get across, because
he spray paints on the car, survive if I let you. Because obviously he's sending the message to Team Taz. But it's just a little bit too artsy for me.
I'm kind of saying in all of his promos, it's him beating up himself or beating up an object, and you're supposed to kind of figure out the underlying message of what he's trying to say.
Or having Steve-O there collecting a paycheck because the city mission isn't giving out food. And Steve-O, doesn't give a fuck about wrestling. So he's just like, yeah, that's my buddy Darby. What was your name again? Darby Allin? Okay. My buddy Darby Allin over here.
You would think that he would, though.
He even had Tony Hawk do one of them. Like, this has got to be so low on Tony's things to do list.
Then again, Tony Hawk was on The Masked Singer, so.
Do we have an update on Shaq?
We don't speak of that.
We just hope it goes away. She attacked Brandy last week, so we just hope that that's the focus now. So next up, we got AEW Women's Championship match. Hikaru Shida taking on Anna Jay. Anna Jay, of course, as you heard last week, has those cakes.
Most definitely do.
Well, her ringside partner is the Queen of Cakes.
Oh, she's the one with the cakes?
I don't know. I think I was getting that wrong. I don't know.
I have it wrong. Last week, Tay Conti was the one that we were talking about.
It was? All right.
Now, bake cake, or are you talking about their derrieres?
Comes in late and here's cake.
I mean, I was listening, but
Mac was muted for an hour and a half. All of a sudden, we say cake, and he's just like, "Hey guys, what's up? What we talking about?"
Food podcast.
Anyone say cake?
That's the big casualty of having to work at home when you work in an office setting, is that there's no days where you're getting surprise cake.
I miss bagel day.
Yeah, we just started having that before they got rid of, before we had to go back. We was having fruit on Wednesdays and all that stuff. Then it just changed.
Probably won't ever see it again.
Nah, we won't.
I'm a fan of it though. Because people will bring in bags of chips and they'll dip their whole hand into the chip bag.
Oh.
So I am a fan. I will say, I have COVID. Please refrain from dipping your hand in the chip bag. But I'm sorry, continue.
So yeah, this match took place. Hikaru Shida nursing her knee injury from when she wrestled Nyla Rose. This was almost like a night and day type of thing from when Tay Conti was wrestling last week, because in this match, Anna Jay was trying to get the steel chair, and Tay Conti at ringside was pulling it away, yelling, "You don't need it, you don't need it." This allowed the ref to be distracted enough for her to nail Hikaru Shida in the knee with the Singapore cane. Was not enough to put her away. Eventually, Shida would come back for the win. After the match, Abaddon showed up, scaring the fuck out of Sheeta and me. Abaddon's fucking terrifying. I'll say that right now.
There's some cakes to be had there.
There is some cakes to be had there, but not in the face. That is fucking terrifying.
She was bleeding as she crawled out from the back.
And then licked the title belt.
Yeah. COVID. We can't be licking the title belt.
Seriously, you don't know who jizzed on that.
Did I say that,
Abby? Drew, I do want to bring up one point because it kind of goes back to our confusion about Dark Order. So Anna Jay, when she has a singles match, she comes out with the rest of Dark Order, who's supposed to be dark and menacing, hanging off in the back. But then she comes out with her best friend, Tay Conti, who's super happy and chipper, who gets to stand with her next to the ring through the whole match. And you, I don't know. I find myself confused. I'm like, well, is Anna Jay really in Dark Order, or is she supposed to be like happy, bubbly, and tag partners with Tay Conti? Like, what is the point of this? Should they just get it over with and have those two have a fight, or what?
Well, her whole thing is that she's trying to lure her over to the Dark Order. But she's doing a piss poor job of it.
We only saw them actually try to convince her to join like months ago when they gave her like a contract. But now you wouldn't have any idea that they've been trying to, recruit her. They don't even bring that up. They don't even show anything or have any sort of promos, which is sort of a general problem with the women's division as it is, to let you know that this is part of the storyline.
Yeah, it just seems like there's an identity crisis with Dark Order. It just feels like whenever they're in the ring, you get a mix of, hey, we're in the Dark Order, but only when we need to be. Any other time, if we need to be goofy, we're going to be goofy.
And where is Brody in all of this?
Well, he's injured.
Oh, when he come back, it's going to be some head cracking.
Like Vince. He's going to keep the Vince persona going.
I hope not, because, it doesn't fucking work. It just makes them look like sour grapes. It just seems like he's just complaining the entire time about how, he was overlooked and never put in the top spot, and Vince is an old man, and it's just like every time he does that, it's just like, dude, get the fuck over it.
Yeah, you ain't got to keep repeating you a thug.
Like, you are not a top draw. I'm sorry to say it, you're not. Like, you were in the Wyatt family. That was great. You were given a chance to be put in a top spot. You were given main event push with AJ Styles, and you got fucking hurt. What? How is that Vince's fault? You're not the only wrestler there. You get hurt, you come back, you're at the back of the line. Other people are coming up. Let it go.
Unless
you're in a new company now.
Top star.
What's that?
I said you get when you get hurt, you come back and you're back to the back of the line. So unless you're a top star,
which he's not. He's not. He never was. And that he went with the Butcher Brothers or whatever the fuck their names were, Bludgeon Brothers.
Come on, man! Don't disrespect the Bludgeon Brothers like that, man.
And they were over. They were getting over. And then they got fucking hurt again. So, is it really Vince's fault that your body fails you every fucking time you get a push? Look at what's happening in AEW. Getting a push, main event guy, injured again. This is not the office's fault. This is not Vince's fault. This is your conditioning. This is you. You're injury prone. That's why you're not the top of your company. Stop complaining about it. Stop making oh, I'm Vince McMahon and I'm holding everyone down. You're not being held down, motherfucker. You're just hurt all the time.
So why?
I think. Go ahead.
Why I want the guys in the back say, "Hey, look, maybe we ought to put this Vince storyline to a rest."
Because I think the AEW has set its principles on we're going to give you creative freedom. And his creative freedom is I'm just going to have this Vince McMahon persona and let off some steam about how I was never a main event guy. And there's nobody there going, okay, we could do that or we cannot. There's nobody to do that. It's just, okay, do it.
That's why I say AEW is a bunch of bitter exes, man. Some of them, you know.
I'm not going to argue with that. I'm sorry.
I was going to say I agree with Drew in the assessment. I hope that when Brody does come back, that whole piece is done with, and we go back to Brody as Skeletor with his minions that are constantly screwing up. And they just keep getting into title matches, but then they always screw it up and give the title back over to the face, and we have the real true Dark Order is heel group.
Well, it's like you have him win the TNT Championship and lay out Cody so he could film a TV show. And then he comes back literally like two weeks later and squashes Brody Lee. Like, bro, come on. Like, that is not good.
Doesn't that tell you what the company really thinks of him then?
I think that's Cody going, okay, I'm back.
Yeah, it was so obvious. It was so obvious that Cody's like, well, you just borrowed my belt for a couple weeks.
I hate the booking. I sometimes I hate the booking.
Look,
sometimes the booking is great. Other times the booking is not.
You do unto others as they do to you, man.
Yeah, I also feel like they're kind of pigeonholing themselves, kind of saying, hey, look, championships don't matter here by doing that.
Well, Cody makes sure to let you know the TNT Championship is the most important championship when he holds it. Because if you've noticed, now that Cody's not the TNT champion, they give two fucks about that belt.
Yeah, Darby doesn't even come out last when they're in the same match.
Doesn't even come out last. And what was the other thing that happened in that? Cody refused to eat the pin, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Not
Darby.
to that.
You have your champion eat the pin.
I feel like Cody, as much as Cody wants to be Triple H, we all know who the real Triple H is, and that's Brandy. Brandy is totally the Triple H, because let's face it, before she was fucking Cody, she was doing the ring announcing work on NXT. She would not have the position she has in AEW. She wasn't riding that 6 days a week. So for that, she is Triple H.
I just love the callback to the WWE promo when it was Jericho and Cody, where Jericho tells him, I've had more championships than you and your father combined. And now Cody's in a position to give himself championships. And he's like, I want to make you guys care about this championship because I've never got that opportunity in the land of never have, never was, never will.
That's my problem as well, is when I hear people saying, I was never given a shot. Cody was given shots in WWE. He was given opportunities. I mean, he was doing feuds with Randy Orton and Triple H. And he was put in those positions. But he let his characters get stale. And when that happens, they kind of forget about you. It happens.
Characters get stale. He didn't like the Stardust character and other stuff.
Well, that was before that. Even before that, when he was, dashing Cody Rhodes and things like that. Like when he was wearing the mask and like the clear mask after his face got broken.
Yeah.
That was some of the best shit he was doing.
Yep.
But then he just kept going with it and didn't really give it any new life.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't see it reaching the WWE Championship. That's why. I would have quit doing it too.
He pulled a James Storm.
Oof.
If I'm winning this match, I'm going to come out all fired up, have my entrance mean something. If I'm going to lose, you're going to fucking know it when I'm coming to the ring.
Did we have
main event?
Sunny Side Up this week?
Yeah, we did. You weren't here for it.
Oh, damn.
He got me again too.
Did I cut you off, Abby? My bad, bro.
Abby, did you want to go into the main event?
Buffalo's Finest yet again getting main event coverage in Dynamite. You gotta. I'm actually. That's pretty impressive for these guys. Kind of come from nowhere to actually. They're actually on a kind of a streak now of getting in the main event scene here.
Yeah, we taking over, man.
Butcher and Blade with Bunny versus Pac, Ray Phoenix, and whatever his brother is going by nowadays.
All you got to do is get Benny on the phone to join the show one day, and it's a wrap.
Come on. They're like, who? The silence was deafening.
Oh, boy.
I thought this was a great match, ruined by the ending of it. Eddie Kingston on commentary is pretty damn hilarious because he rips into Tony Schiavone and JR. But the match got ruined by the ending, which I still don't quite grasp what was the point of it. But Kingston came out, they beat down Pac and Phoenix. And then Lance Archer runs out and clears house. Now, so now we figured out what Lance Archer's next move is to go after Eddie Kingston, which we thought Lance was going to continually try to get into the title pictures.
Isn't that weird though, Abby?
What's that?
Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston. Like, why are they fighting each other?
I don't know. I have no idea what the background is or where this came from.
I mean, I want to see Lance Archer do something of importance. I just don't know.
The only thing that I think might save this is having Eddie and Jake the Snake cutting promos on each other.
Yeah, I guess, but he's not fighting Jake though.
No, I'm talking. The wrestling's going to be crap, but the promos. If you get the two of them and you have Jake randomly talking inappropriate things about his crotch in these promos, it'll be hilarious. And then Eddie, who seems to have no concept of TV time and just keeps going and going and going. It could be pretty funny in terms of promos.
So, Abby, I wanted to know. I know you're UOP. You squashed your beef. You guys are talking. You talk exclusively AEW. Amongst the side conversations, what's been the most surefire thing that you or maybe even Jeff predicted during your one-off chats for AEW?
Predicted? I think we've both been wrong in terms of predictions here and there.
Nothing solid that you saw coming.
Well, I guess we both have been waiting for Kenny to turn heel. And that's I guess at this point it really is it is full heel Kenny at this point. But you know, I think we haven't exactly had the same predictions on things. Definitely have differences of opinions. But I will say for you guys, we still find AEW more enjoyable to watch on a weekly basis than anything WWE is doing.
Yeah, I'm a traditionalist, and AEW hasn't made me a believer yet. So
But Abby, it's just because you refuse to watch SmackDown.
Maybe my Friday nights are busy doing other things.
Okay.
Pain's not going to watch itself dry.
I definitely think, though, that Roman Reigns is probably the best thing in professional wrestling stateside going on right now.
I would say SmackDown's better than Raw. I do have to say that. Just purely on Roman.
Yeah. But wait till he gets into a real feud.
Here's my question, though. As far as AEW goes, who's going to win or at least get nominated for a Grammy first? Chris Jericho or The Butcher?
A Grammy?
Yes.
Well, I think every time they die have been nominated in the past.
Have they? I didn't see if they were ever nominated.
I don't know.
If they have, then that has to be Chris Jericho.
Jericho will never, ever be nominated. Have you ever listened to Fozzy?
I have.
I found it awful. Just plain awful.
Okay.
I couldn't believe he's still doing it to this day. I thought it was like more of a gag that he had a band.
I remember it was.
He thinks it's the best thing smoking. Didn't he have a concert like during COVID?
Yeah, he did like a live stream.
Oh,
he said it was bigger than Metallica's live stream. Well, he said that's what a reviewer said about him.
Yeah, he's like selling the hell out of these concerts. Like your boy Elias is selling his CD. No one's buying it.
So yeah, Butcher was nominated. So that answers my question.
Now Jericho could be up for a Jabroni Award. I don't know.
Could be.
Which category though, but definitely could be.
So did we want to go to Dirt before we go to reviewing or previewing AEW's card?
I got a quick question.
Yeah.
He leaves say not McIntyre. Dean Ambrose, aka John Moxley, is gone. What do you guys think? Is that true? What do you guys make of that?
That's according to what source?
He's what?
Yeah, you didn't hear about this? I forgot who said this, but they're like, oh yeah, he could hang him up and retire from AEW and then come back to the WWE.
Well, that's legally not able to happen. If he's under contract with AEW, he's not able to wrestle anywhere else until that time's up. If he quits or retires.
Contract for?
What's that?
How long is his contract for?
I think he signed a long-term contract. Now, as far as that also goes, he left WWE on not the best terms. I mean, he pretty much lied to them on his way out. He told them, yeah, I'm going to be doing movies now. He never mentioned anything about going to a rival wrestling promotion. And he has also said in several interviews that he hated his time in WWE. So I can't imagine him leaving AEW, where he has the freedom to do whatever he wants, and is a top guy, to go to WWE where he was unhappy.
Drew, people always go back to the abuser, man.
I mean, he's gonna be he'll be on maternity or paternity break at some point, but he ain't leaving. And I believe he said in numerous interviews he absolutely loves working in New Japan, so he could always go there and can continue working if he could get to Japan.
Well, back in October, he says that he would hope to wrestle until he's in his 50s. So retirement's not going to be an option.
He's like 30s now, right?
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that to yourself?
So you can cut a promo when you're 50 saying I've been doing this for 30 something years.
Yeah, and also don't forget AEW. He works 1 day a week.
Yeah,
I mean, he's also signed to New Japan, but he can't wrestle there right now. So he's been the longest reigning United States champion there, having defended the belt once in the last year.
Listen, at 45, I'm looking at other avenues.
Yeah, but if you work 1 day a week, dude, that's a good fucking gig.
I just know, man, a lot of wrestlers who said never say never, have going back.
Yeah, but then there's a lot of guys like CM Punk who have said, yeah, I'm not going back, and I'm not going back.
CM Punk is just not old enough yet. He's going back. Don't worry.
Just say I heard it. Just putting it out there. We can get to the card.
Well, you want to do the dirt first or the card?
Oh, dirt.
Oh, just so you guys know, Abby has a story to tell. I don't know where you want to put it, Abby, but I don't want to miss that.
Did you want to do that after dirt?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Okay.
All right, so we do a dirt
cue us
now?
up, Swerby.
All right.
Let's get dirty.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Okay, so Dark Side of the Ring is getting a third season.
Hey-o.
And one episode for the third season has already gone next. That is an episode on China. So it looks like they have a difference of opinion between what they're saying and what her former manager is saying. Her former manager is saying that they did an interview with him, and when he found out that it was for their TV show, he told them that they couldn't use it. Their opinion is that there's a lot of stuff coming out on China, and they felt there was no point in them releasing something that's on her as well. So it's a lot of he said, she said. However, a few details that did get released from her former manager's interview with them was China's first boob job that she got was behind WWE's back. She did not go to the company on this. She just got it done, and WWE was reportedly furious when they found out because they had been billing her as this monster who, is she a man? Is she a woman? What is she? And then China just shows up one week with new tits. And they're just like, what the fuck?
Imagine how confused they would have been if Goldust would have been able to do it.
Can you imagine Dustin Runnels right now if he actually got those titty implants?
Oh, man. He'd have Dolly Partons.
It was a clown size.
Man, that would have fucked his daughter up so bad.
Fuck me up.
Another thing that was revealed in this interview was when China first got her Playboy issue, her first Playboy issue, Playboy came to her directly. They did not go through WWE. And this had kind of also pissed off WWE because of the fact that... What's that?
They slid in the DMs?
Yeah, they went to her directly through her management. So It wasn't something where WWE was getting a lot of the cut. They were only getting a very minimum cut because they were using the name. But they didn't sign the deal. So Vince, trying to get around this, had tried to offer her something else besides doing Playboy. So it's like, hey, if you don't do Playboy, I'll give you something better in return. Would you like to guess what he offered her?
Some dick.
Okay, Max saying some dick. Would anyone else like to throw in a guess?
No, for real. I'm gonna say a world championship title shot.
Bingo.
A men's.
They offered her the world title.
Wow.
To not do Playboy. And she did Playboy instead because she realized that there's a lot more money coming in from Playboy, especially because she was the highest selling cover at the time. More so than if she was just world champion for what, a week?
Right. Or pain type of setup.
So that begs the question: how many shots did Swerve leave on that copy of the Playboy?
Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
You're amongst friends. You could admit it.
No, I didn't get that one. I'm sorry.
Do you know who did get that one? Because he was all too excited to show me when it was brand new.
Ooh up.
Ooh up.
Yeah.
Oh Lord!
First time I go over to this guy's house when we were in like high school, probably like 7th or 8th grade. He's like, "Hey, I got something to show you." Pulls out the China Playboy.
So you guys spent the night in China, huh?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is it,
We glanced at it from a map.
Was it like, hey man, make sure that door's shut? That type of shit going on?
You're gonna have to reach out to him and ask him if he still has that crinkly pages stuck together magazine in his basement. Or...
Did somebody go home with only one sock?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Those pages are stuck together, bro. Drew is happy right now.
WWE is bringing back the Slammy Awards at the request of nobody.
They would listen to the No Pyro podcast. Hello.
Yeah, they heard our jabronis and went, hey, we need that back. So this month we're getting the Slammy Awards in front of a studio audience of nobody.
Ooh, digital slammies, huh? You know, only one person is really synonymous with the slammies to me.
Miz.
Come on, would you cut it out?
I was going to say Owen.
Yeah, it's Owen Hart. Come on, man. He's the only person that made that even mean anything. I don't know anybody else who won a Slammy.
I remember Undertaker won a Slammy for Best Music because back in the late 90s, they had those two guys who pretend to be like WWF super fans, and they introduced the award, and when he came to the stage to get it, the one guy fake pissing himself. Yeah, I remember the weird shit. WWE has their ban on wrestlers doing stuff outside of the company. But just like the NFL, they are full of double standards. So Xavier Woods will be joining G4 for their relaunch with no issues whatsoever.
Oh, G4 coming back? All right.
Yeah. So just for reference, Zelina Vega opens an OnlyFans, gets fired. Xavier Woods joins a TV network. No problem.
But is he getting a cut of that though? Because I was always going to ask about the other thing they do right now, that up, down, down. Is they getting a cut of that too?
The only reason I would say that they get a cut of it is because they also put it on the network.
The up, down, down thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they had it on network. That goes to show you how much I look at that.
But at the same time, I think it's something like he brings in so much merch that they're willing to, kind of give a double standard. Like, oh, well, he's grandfathered in, so fuck it.
Well, they should have gave Zelina Vega, a week with the OnlyFans. She could have bumped up the merch too.
I think the plan with OnlyFans is to lose the merch, right? Like,
Yeah, hey, buy this bikini half off and then take it off. I don't know.
The only reason why Xavier is in something because he spent one night in Page.
Oh man, that was his buddy cop film.
With being real.
So WWE had a workout this past week with a few possible recruits. One of them is a second-generation wrestler who was recently released from the Baltimore Ravens training camp.
Is Nathan Jones' son?
No.
Damn.
Jesus himself was not in this training camp. No.
What? Al Snow.
What's that? Did you say Al Snow?
Yes, his son.
No.
Damn.
The young man's name was Bronson Rickensteiner, and he is Rick Steiner's son.
Whoa.
Sound like Braun Strowman and Rick Steiner's son. Put together.
So he had a workout, no real word yet on how he did, but he wasn't previously a linebacker, went undrafted in the NFL draft, was picked up by the Ravens, went through their camp and was cut. So he's trying out for WWE now.
I have a feeling he's gonna be the next Mongo McMichael. Take for that what you will.
Nobody wants to be the next Mongo. So Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton segment on Raw this past week was apparently 100% Vince McMahon's doing. And it seems like there was a lot of people backstage who fought against it just because they felt it didn't make much sense in the grand scheme of things. And they were also against the fact that it was kind of humanizing the Fiend, which is not something they want to do so close to WrestleMania. There are also a lot of wrestlers backstage that are frustrated with both Vince and executive producer Bruce Pritchard because of the fact that he's pretty much like Vince's right-hand man. A lot of wrestlers are just frustrated with their lack of screen time, with their lack of TV time at all, mainly because of the fact that they're still on those older contracts that only pay them based on how much they're working. So if they're not really getting TV time, their paychecks are almost nothing. Well,
I got a hot
to
take. I got a hot take. You guys are more than welcome to come back to this episode, which I think is 120. And I'm not sure that we called that out earlier, but if you didn't, we did. It's 120. The Fiend character will be dead on or shortly thereafter WrestleMania.
Is that what you said last year?
I don't know what I said last year. But they're going to scrap that character. I can see it going away.
I don't know about dead.
No, Bray will be there, but that will be gone.
Like he'll go back to regular Bray, like Swamp.
That or something
Swamp
else. Yeah.
Bray.
I don't see that character lasting too much longer.
I can see them humanizing the character. Like he'll still have the mask and everything, but he won't be unstoppable.
Well, isn't that dead to you?
Yeah.
He's already stoppable.
It's terminally ill.
Yeah, he hasn't been unstoppable for a while. At least that I can remember.
Not since Goldberg went through him.
They did bring back the noise for WWE shop promo, and it turned out to be what's your boy? A Retribution. I forget his name.
Crowbar? Slapjack? I don't know.
I think he's a Japanese wrestler. I forget his name.
Tozawa?
Yes. He had the
chopstick?
He had the mask on, and somebody thought it was Bray. I forgot who it was, so they got the hell out of there. And it was Tozawa. And he was holding up a fake 24/7 championship. So there's that.
Last two things. Gilbert is recovering after he had suffered a heart attack last week. So have Gilbert in your thoughts. It's good to see that he is doing well and not pulling a Rick Wagner on us. And lastly, AEW considering a trio. What?
I'm trying to not to laugh, and you got to throw Rick Wagner. You just had to. Just good help yourself.
No children.
Leave Rick out of this, man. Hey. Prayers to Gilbert.
And Rick Wagner.
If you say so. AEW considering a trios title because of how many factions that they have. They are thinking about bringing that as a championship, as like a 6-man.
That'll come up, that'll happen, and then it'll die before the Bray Wyatt Fiend character does. You know something? Not a good idea. Jeez Louise.
What's not a good idea about it? They have so many trios in that group.
Come up with a second show.
They are
actually. Yeah, I mentioned that last week. They are planning on a second hour-long show.
Well, we've known that for like a couple months now. Don't just plan on it.
Yeah, but they're trying to wait until they can actually get people back in the stands to actually do it.
All right, so we'll see you in a second show in sometime in August because that's what we're looking at.
It goes for almost anybody trying to get something going.
Right. I don't see the reason for a trios championship. Maybe I don't see the big picture. If there is one.
That's all I got. So if you want to go into your story.
I have a dirt item, if you don't mind. I thought it was worth bringing up. Because you didn't bring it up last week. But in relation to what is Undertaker going to do after he's retired and still needs money? And things.
Oh, I thought you said it last week. I told you guys that he was doing Cameo.
Yeah, we did. We talked about Cameo. But I'm saying, what else is Undertaker going to do because he needs money? And also related to other things no one asked for. The WWE has launched Undertaker by Snoop Dogg merch to celebrate the milestone of Undertaker's 30th year and Snoop Dogg's 27th anniversary of Doggy Style. They've released a limited set of T-shirts, hats, and hoodies called Undertaker by Snoop Dogg. And if you are bored enough to look at these pictures, it's pretty weird. It's like old, the old art style from the 90s hip hop albums.
Yeah.
With both Snoop and Undertaker on the same T-shirt. Like, here's a 57 Impala on bags with Undertaker driving and Snoop on the other side.
That sounds like something you'd pick up in Chinatown.
Is it like hoes and weed on the cover too?
There's another shirt says nothing but a tea thang.
Oh my god.
It can't.
Oh, here's another one. This one's for you. Swerve. Long sleeve shirt. Undertaker OD. Snoop Dogg OG.
Wow.
Wait, did it say Undertaker OD?
OD.
They know what OD means, right?
It's actually written on the arms. Original Dead Man and original Gangster.
Why does your sleeve say Undertaker overdose?
Oh, I was right. These are designed based on LA street art from the 90s. So that also goes. That's also a good Christmas item if you're looking for something for your loved ones.
If you love them, I don't know if you would do that though.
Thanks, Grandma. This is good.
On sale now at www.shop.com.
Drew, I have to ask. I don't know if you need to clear your throat, but come on now. If I'm gonna buy this, I have to be sold it. Come on, do it. You gotta do it.
I don't know if I could do that impression after what's his face.
I mean,
After I did the Johnny Ace.
you did the Johnny Ace. I mean, can't I understand, but man, if there was a time. Oh, I hear a sip.
Are we going to
You
shop
guys are
zone?
not going to go on to the next topic until I do this, aren't you?
Shop zone, man. Come on.
That or we haven't had a song from Swervy in a while.
A song?
Yeah, I don't want to hear that shit either. So, well, folks, here we go. What we got is we got ShopZone.com. And here, when you buy in the Shop Zone, what you got is you got the best, freshest styles from 2020. Oh, yeah, folks, we got The Undertaker. We got Snoop Dogg. Hell, we got Eminem. I don't know. We got things that only Vince McMahon thinks are hip. And when you put these together, oh my, you're going to get some awkward Christmases. Oh yes, handsome Doc Hendricks here to talk about the Undertaker Snoop Dogg collection. You're going to be smelling like a haunted house and weed all winter long. And if you buy now, you get a bonus episode. You get a CD from the Steve Austin collection, his favorite country songs. I know you don't want it. Put in your truck so it doesn't get stolen. That's all I got. I didn't prepare.
Well, Mac is happy.
Yeah, he's probably crying at this point.
No, I'm just happy that you're happy, Abby.
Drew, how's your voice now?
Not great.
One man died for the team, man. Appreciate you, Drew. We can go on to the final segment.
Oh, I got a story to tell.
Oh yes.
Unless you want to do your final segment.
No. We're gonna go to the story now.
All right, we're gonna change things up a little bit here. We're not gonna talk about wrestling. We're gonna move away from wrestling. So, this is just story time from Avi here. So a few weeks ago, I had to go to a dermatologist appointment. You're laughing already, but no, there's nothing serious. Thank you for the kind words, Swerve. There's nothing serious. I just had to go to a dermatologist appointment to have my skin checked. So I've never been to one, and I've never had to have a skin check before, so I didn't know what to expect. But my wife had told me that they're going to look over your body to see if there's any abnormalities or things that might need to be looked at further. And I thought, okay, this is fine. I can deal with this. So like any doctor's office, you sit around waiting an obnoxious amount of time, even though they took you into the back. They said, we'll be with you shortly. But first, by the way, you need to strip down to only have your underwear on, and you have to wear this tiny piece of paper over yourself if you're uncomfortable or need to stay warm.
Because that's
so. I'm like, okay, again, I can deal with this. And I thought to myself, I hope I get a guy or something, because I'm like in my underwear and they're going to be looking at my stuff and looking me over. And I was like, all right, let's hope for the best in all of this. So I get the, I don't know what the name of the title of the person is, but like the person who just checks your weight and height and asks you some basic questions, not the real person who's going to do the inspection. And there's like a, what's that?
Practitioner?
No, well, yeah, I think something like that. So like, she's like a college student or something. She's just asking basic questions.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
not looking me over, not touching me or anything. And so that was fine. But she's like, all right, well, we'll be back shortly. And okay. So time goes by. I'm just staring at my watch, hoping, praying this ends early because I have other things I'd rather be doing. And so she comes back in and she's like, your doctor will be in here shortly. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm still standing here with just my underwear on. The door opens and I look over and I pretty much mouthed, "What the fuck?" as this absolutely drop dead gorgeous, blonde haired, model looking doctor walks past me. And she's like, "Hi." And going over, "I'm going to be going over you." And,
Oh Lord.
Ten hot.
and I was like, "This is not happening. This is literally not happening right now." I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like almost naked. And then this is the person who's going to go over me. And to make things worse, she's not just going to do a visible inspection of me, it is a physical inspection of me.
Oh my God.
So
Age 4 on Pornhub's finest.
I just kept thinking, the Queen of England, the Queen of England, the Queen of England. Like, please, God, don't do anything that's going to get me in trouble. Please, God.
Mae Young giving birth to the hand.
Yeah. Please, God, please, God. So then she puts on her gloves and she starts going over my hands. I'm like, okay, this is not so bad as long as I'm not looking at her. So then she's going over my hands, she's going over my chest, and then she's like, well, I have to check here. So she puts her hands near my crotch, and I'm like, oh God, please, for the love of God, please, for the love of God, may nothing happen here. May there not be a stiff wind in this room right about now. Please let this go by quickly.
Did she touch
And
the slapjack?
then, what's that?
Did she touch the slapjack?
Swerve. I got more action in this than I did at a strip club. I'm like, it's not happening. And then to really top it off, she goes, "Sir, you're going to need to stand up to do the rest of the assessment." I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me right now. So I have to take off this tiny little piece of paper, which I don't know what purpose it served. So there I'm standing there in this room, only having my drawers on. And this, again, Swerve can attest to what this person looks like and what her Insta page looks like.
Hello.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
we found
sure.
her. We found her. She goes again through like my hair and my face and stuff, and then she goes, "Sir, I'm going to pull down your pants now." I'm like,
Yes.
are you absolutely kidding me? So he literally has to pull my pants down to look and look at everything. "No, I don't see anything." I'm like, "Yeah, of course you don't see anything. I'm keeping this thing tucked up way up high from you."
You turned into Chuck Palumbo during this visit, man?
Oh, I just kept thinking every ugly thing I could think of, and I just kept saying, shrinkage, let there be shrinkage, just be shrinkage so I can get through this examination and go
Calling
home.
a Buffalo Bob? Did you fuck me? I'd fuck me hard.
So if you guys are looking for a recommendation for a dermatologist, I will send that to you after the show.
Yes, please.
It was both the best and worst experience I've ever had at a doctor's appointment.
Do you think that a patient has possibly been there with one of their soldiers at Fullerton Hut?
I thought that, but I also thought she must have a very specific clientele that comes back at a very frequent pace. Like, "Sir, you're only supposed to come once a year. You don't really need to come every quarter." No. I really just want to have this. I really want to be checked out. "Well, the doctor's not available on these dates." "Well, I'll work around her calendar."
Yeah, I would have came in. Yeah. I would have been a Flintstone kid that doctor visit.
Stories they would have came. I hear you, bro. Right.
I know I'm not the most exciting storyteller, but I felt like that was something worth bringing up to you boys.
That was good. From one married man to another. Thank you, sir.
Oh, I told the wife, and she laughed at the whole thing. She called me an idiot and a ridiculous person.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, that little bit of sacrifice that you paid for that story, though, I mean, come on, it's worth it.
Swerve, have you finished looking at all the pictures yet?
Of her?
Or are you're just doing your daily follow?
No, I called through the day we talked about it. I was done. There's so many more on there. I can't spend time on just her.
Yeah. So this is another thing. So not only is she like a professional medical doctor, apparently she is trying to be some sort of Instagram model. So you can imagine the types of pictures that are out there.
They weren't like Dottie though, the ones I saw. So
no, like a not like that kind of model. No.
No, yeah, they weren't like that, but yeah.
Well, good story, Abby.
She's like Britt Baker, but better looking.
A good way to put it.
Let's get to the AEW big show tomorrow.
Winter is coming.
No, John. Is it Jon Snow? Is his name?
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah, no Jon Snow though.
Walking in a winter wonderland.
You got the card? You want me to pull it up?
I got it. So we're going to be starting off with Dr. Britt Baker in action. And
before you continue, is this still 2 hours or is this going to be like a 3-hour special?
It's going to be 2 hours.
Okay.
So she's actually going to be doing a similar examination to what Swervey went through this past week with his skin appointment. Britt Baker will be performing that same
I didn't
type
go through it. I wish I did.
It's
procedure on air because she'll be working with a ham and 2 eggs.
Damn it, Drew, get it right.
Abby,
What?
Don't swerve. Abby went.
She will be taking on Layla Hirsch.
So you want to fill in Drew what he's not getting here?
Yes. Swervy Lee did not go to the skin appointment. That was
my bad. You know what? To be honest, I could just roll with that because didn't Abby call Uwab Jeff No Chill Drew?
He might have, I think.
Yeah, didn't you fuck up my name? So I could have just rolled with that.
Yeah, it happens.
But I sold it. So she take on Layla Hirsch, who does not have a hyperlink on Wikipedia, so we all know she's a ham and egger.
Wrong. She's getting signed by AEW as a full-time non-jobber. And
well, that's great, but until she signs, she is jobbing.
And I do expect you boys to watch because this match will be full of cakes.
She's going to be a Joan Silver then, not a John Silver?
There are some prime cakes to be had in this match.
Great. And I got a sweet tooth.
The next thing that we do have is Chris Jericho taking on Frankie Kazarian. What are your thoughts on this one?
Big match lineup to me, man.
Well, it's not a real pay-per-view. It's still just a Dynamite.
Oh, okay. All right. My bad.
This is just going to lead to other stories. Like I think we talked about earlier about maybe how Jericho and Daniels end up having a singles match for the first time ever, and see what other hijinks come from Inner Circle and see what other stories fall out of this.
We also have. Oh, I'm sorry. I will pick Chris Jericho to win this. Actually, no. I'm gonna go Frankie Kazarian so they can continue the feud.
I'm not even sure who the Kazarian guy is.
Wow, he's part of SCU.
Oh, the other guy?
Yeah.
That doesn't get any.
You just want to call him other guy?
Listen, if it ain't Scorpion. then you know.
Then we have tag team matchup: Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes taking on Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs.
How you feel about that, Mac?
I mean, is this guy built like Chris Masters? Powerhouse Hobbs? Really?
Yeah, it's Will Hobbs.
Huh? What'd you say?
He's a massive guy.
Okay. Just wanted to know, man, if we were talking Chris Masters or are we talking, somebody like Eugene or somebody?
Oh, he looks similar to Keith Lee.
Oh.
Just more muscular.
This will again have Cody coming out last and Cody not eating the pin. But I'm hoping Taz comes out and we see some suplexes or something from Taz.
He might not get up from one if he implements the move.
His hip hurts. and Swerve can shit on Brian Cage for being just a meathead who can't talk.
No, when he was up against the little guy, he was doing a lot better. But I don't know how he'll fare in this one.
I do feel that that Team Taz can get the win, and yeah, Darby's eating that pin again.
I'm so sick of McAfee and how they do stuff on it.
Getting done up like that?
Yeah, I can see that happening. Next, we have the Battle Royal, Jobber Battle Royal for the AEW Dynamite ring. So they are doing the Diamond Ring again.
Oh, so we just talked about this and you said we weren't doing it again. They are doing this again.
Yeah, I didn't know until just now.
Yeah, apparently they're having MJF cough it up, but he is in this Battle Royal. It's not a Jobber Battle Royal.
Every Battle Royal is a Jobber Battle Royal. So they're doing Adam Page, Alex Reynolds, John Silver, Sammy Guevara, Matt Hardy, Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Queen, Matt Sydal, Scorpio Sky, Sean Spears, Orange Cassidy, Kip Sabian, Miro, Wardlow, and MJF.
I would like to see someone different have it this time. I think Sammy would be a good choice to have this.
Why is MJF in it?
Why is anybody in it? They just threw this together.
Well, yeah, but MJF is kind of on a run right now. If he shouldn't have it twice, I don't think. He shouldn't even be in it, you know? Like, why is he in it?
Well, that's what I just think they didn't. There's no real rhyme or reason as to who's in it. A lot of this is tag teams and stable members brought together, so it's just a hodgepodge of people thrown together.
So you don't think there's anything special to him being like the last person eliminated or him winning, anything like that?
Well, I could see him winning it again, and now he can claim that he's the 2-time Diamond Battle Royal winner, and he can still continue to use it as a weapon and cheat in matches.
This is what Lance Archer should have been in.
No, here's what I have going down in this. I have Wardlow winning. I have Wardlow winning, costing MJF it, whether it's the last person eliminated or second last. This is going to cause the rift that allows Wardlow to break away from MJF. But yeah, I say that Wardlow is going to get the win here.
I like it. I personally think Sammy would take it because then it could lead to just a battle between Sammy and MJF. Since Sammy has shown in the past how much he doesn't want MJF in Inner Circle, but at the same time, to your point, we've been constantly teased Wardlow separating from MJF. So,
but is he ready to go out on his own, or would it be like kind of like sending him out to die at this point?
Well, he hasn't cut any promos. He's had singles matches but he hasn't cut any promos. So like you have no sense of what his character is or what he'd be like as a solo guy.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, shouldn't we get some of that before you just like, see if he's ready before you do this breakup thing? I mean, I don't know. Companies are guilty of breaking up teams before they're ready, and then you watch them drown.
When has he done that?
When who's done what?
When has Cody done that?
No, not Cody. I said companies are guilty of.
Oh.
Breaking up teams before they're ready, and then you watching them drown. Not Cody specifically.
Right.
Well, Cody did break up with Legacy. That's what.
Swerve, you've been kind of watching. Do you have anybody you'd like to see win this?
Yeah, I mean, once you brought up the other name, I forgot that I have to go with Wardlow. If Lance is not in it, give it to Wardlow.
Yeah, so that's 2 for Wardlow, so I could definitely see that happening. Then again, it'll probably be somebody like Scorpio Sky.
I don't know if the ring thing is I don't know what it really means to them yet, but I don't know if it's like a good guy thing to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't see it working on a good guy, but I could just see them doing it just to give Scorpio a buzz. And then lastly, Jon Moxley defending against Kenny Omega, AEW World Title. What do we think? Do we think Jon Moxley is going to have his death grip on the title still? Or do we think that Kenny Omega will be the first non-main roster WWE guy to hold his belt?
Well, it's kind of early for the baby to come, but if he's going to take 12 months off, then yeah. I don't know. It's time for him to let it go. I'll tell you that, though. I guess he could work another program with, that's non-title with somebody else or something like that, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a rematch or anything. But it's definitely time for him to let that championship go because I'm sick of seeing it, for sure.
And with
Swerve, I can't see him taking that long off.
Sorry, Drew, what were you saying?
I can't see him taking that long off. I mean, they work 1 day a week. I can't see him taking that long off.
No, I mean, he can stick around, but I'm just saying, sorry. I'm ready for him to let go of that championship, regardless if he stays or goes.
Yeah, I'm with Swerve. I think this is Kenny takes the title. I think this is the right time to do it. And I think this then leads to Kenny and Hangman at the pay-per-view. And then I guess I can't quite see where this goes with Moxley, but I think at this point, how long has he had it? 9 months now, I think.
Something like that.
I think this is kind of the right point to have it, and Kenny going into heel mode has really kind of swung it in his favor to me.
I can definitely see Kenny winning it. His persona right now, this like heelish persona, I really like. I think that he will be a good champion for AEW, and he'll be a good transition from WWE guys to, indie/AEW guys winning it.
Yeah, and maybe, like I said, I think Kenny wins it, and then we can see Kenny versus Adam Cole soon at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been saying that if Moxley does lose, give it to somebody who's a face. And if they don't go with giving it to Hangman, then they keep it on Moxley. I don't know when they will put on somebody who's a face. I'm not a big Moxley guy anyway to begin with, but I don't know. He's not I'm a mat wrestler, so Omega and Hangman fight to the death because those guys are mat wrestlers, and I don't know if Omega gets it, great, but I doubt it.
So who did you see as a face that would win it?
Omega.
Well, he's currently a heel.
I thought he was a face.
He's definitely shifting towards heel
now.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched him a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
Well, I think you said someone else. I was just trying to be sure.
Well, like you say, it's gonna be him and Hangman once it's all said and done. If he goes over against Moxley.
Do we have anything else then?
How surprised would you guys be if the belt was retained?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be as excited, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Depends on how he retains it.
Well, we still don't know who the mystery person was that beat him down.
Yeah, but if it's some time limit draw BS, then
Yeah, I don't want that shit.
Well, we'll see. All right. Abby, thank you for coming on tonight. We really appreciate your insight on the world of AEW.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Always a pleasure.
Anytime, Jim Jones. We appreciate you, man.
Excuse me?
Are you a certified gangster? Are you spending your summers with Miami? I just gotta know. Are you G'd up, Jim?
I'm not following you.
These are the rapper Jim Jones. I'm sorry, man. You're as bad as Drew. Hit us up on YouTube, folks. No Pyro Podcast. Keep listening, but more important than that, Swerve, tell the people.
On the YouTubes, listen if you can, and subscribe if we let you.
Nah, I know that's how YouTube operated these days. I am signing out for my fellow brethren, Swervely and No Chill Drew. This has been another edition of the No Pyro Podcast. We will see you next week where we talk about everything leading up to TLC and recapping Winter is coming from AEW. Until then, deuces.